Dr. Vibha Chauhan, for your very kind and encouraging words, and also for your continuous support to all of us for envisioning the role for the Center for Innovation and Social Enterprise. And you're perfectly right when you say that the buffer or the buckle between the school teaching and the research, which actually composes of undergraduate and postgraduate teaching, is often neglected in the Indian system. I couldn't have agreed more with you. So coming to the formal, the topic of the webinar today, which is, as we are well aware, education, innovation, and entrepreneurship, path ahead. So it is kind of futuristic. We're trying to look into the prism of the future and what are those big shakes and changes which are required. And when I was collecting my thoughts on the thematics of the webinar, I was reminded of antiquate thinkers, which is Greek thinker, Plato and Aristotle, who also were deeply concerned with both the epistemological and the teleological aspect of teaching and pedagogy. And when they asked this very fundamental questions like, what exactly is teaching? Or what is education for? Or what are the necessary conditions or sufficient conditions for knowledge and growth to flourish and prosper? And thereby they introduced this very, very interesting sophist or Socratian style of dialectics, questioning, which actually pushed the paradigm, which shook the status quo as a technique for higher awareness and knowledge seeking. And one also recollects a very succinct dictum of Democritus, and one of my favorite too, when he said, I think, therefore I am. And perhaps these thoughts continue to resonate the foundational and the quintessential question of knowledge and knowledge seeking. And I think if we bring these concepts or core beliefs and ideas or values to the 21st century, bring it now and here, and we will see that in today's world also, the innovation constitutes the new quantum of academic strength of a nation, which actually translates into both the hard and the soft power. Today, in fact, a country cannot really find a place among the leading nations of the world unless and until the global academia, it impacts the global academia by making remarkable contributions in the frontiers of human intellect. It is therefore not unexpected that all leading nations are the ones who engage and show the way in cutting-edge research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. In fact, history teaches us that nation achieves its greatness by persistently grappling with the new unforeseen challenges, making new scientific advances, and opening new paradigms. As Peter Drucker said, since we live in an age of innovation, a practical education must prepare a man or a woman for the work that does not yet exist and cannot yet be clearly defined. So as we stand at the threshold of AI 4.0, the era of robotics, society 5.0, and grapple with the biggest pandemic and a disruptor of the century, it becomes increasingly, or rather imperative, to develop the robust system and foster research, innovation, and entrepreneurship in this ever-evolving landscape of education. It is certainly not a new realization that there's this pressing need to restructure and revamp the education system almost globally. So it was indeed very heartening to see that the government of India has taken due cognizance of this and rolled out a new education policy just last month, that is August 2020. And one of the important highlights of the new education policy by the government of India is this enormous focus on widening the gamut, the structure, and the quality of research innovation in all the fields. The new policy also sort of, interestingly, I would say, proposes catalyzing, synergizing, and energizing the research and innovation across the country in almost all disciplines, and also place this emphasis on building beneficial linkages or interfaces between researchers, innovators, government, think tanks, and industry. I'm also a firm believer that the focus of the modern education should actually move away from informational overload or informational deluge to make it, or rather to focus on cultivating what is popularly known as 5 Cs. And by 5 Cs, what I mean is developing conceptual understanding, instilling creativity, critical thinking, encouraging collaboration, and developing communication skills. And also, from an ethical lens or point of view, if I may say, we need to fulfill both the utilitarian and also the deontological purposes of education. Utilitarian because education needs to propel the material well-being of the nation, whereby making the lives of the people or citizens increasingly comfortable and happier. But it also needs to serve the deontological purpose because I believe education, after all, imparts significance and meaning to human life and whole human existence.